Good morning, good morning. Well, I'm going to just begin us with a few remarks and get us settled for where we're going today and the like. One thing that I would like to note, just from a housekeeping perspective, y'all turned out, and I'm so excited. So I'll start off there. For those of you who may not have had the opportunity to see where the restrooms are, the restrooms are back here. So for housekeeping, if you need to do that, that's where you can kind of detour there. We're going to see if the rain's going to kind of keep us at a gentle space. I don't know if it will or not, but we know it's important. We need the rain, so but again, I'm so excited for this opportunity, and I'm so glad that so many, like me, showed up, because this just touches my heart. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Leslie Johnson, Deputy County Manager, and I have the wonderful privilege to be able to work with a host of different people, but what we're talking about today is the people that are a part of this building. Land Use and Environmental Services Agency, their headquarters of their main office is here, and so I have the opportunity to come in and out of this building, interface with the individuals, to include the one that we're going to be recognizing today. So why are we here today? Well, this special occasion provides us the opportunity to honor, as we know him, Rusty Rozzelle, through the official renaming of this building to the Russell S. Rozzelle Office Building. It is entirely fitting that this building be named in his memory, because Rusty had the underpinnings of all those things that we want within our organization as for cultural excellence. He was a passionate environmental preservation advocate with the knowledge and expertise that was almost insurmountable. His dedication, commitment, and service represented the foundational excellence that we strive for in our own organization. And today we will hear remarks from various individuals who will uplift that wonderful, glorious person that he was, and what brings us all here together. In recognizing him, he will have a legacy that will continue to move on. But before we go into those formal programs, I must also recognize some other special guests that we have before us today. First, I would like to acknowledge, and I ask as these individuals named, please stand. We have with us Mecklenburg County Board of County Commissioners Chair Mark Jarrell. We have Vice Chair Lee Altman. We have also wonderful commissioners of, go in order, Elaine Powell, Susan Rodriguez McDowell, and Commissioner Laura Myers. Now, those are not my direct boss. My direct boss, I got to make sure I give him a shout out as well, right? Our very own County Manager Mike Bryant. Thank you. Also among and with us are members of the Rozzelle family. Please stand. I know there's others that's here too. Awesome. Please give them applause. And I'm sure you'll hear this in remarks from others. Again, our hearts are touched. He touched many. We thank you for allowing us to have that opportunity with him, and we thank you for gracing us the opportunity to allow us to name this building after him. So thank you. Also, there are a couple others that I would like to mention that are here, and I don't like to do this because I don't like leaving people out. But I do see representation from Soil and Water Conservation District. I see Barbara Wise. And I also think I saw Nancy Carter. Did I not see her somewhere in here? Okay. Instrumental people that are also here. I'll just do one other. I don't know if there's anybody, since we're talking about Storm and Water Conservation, is there anyone here from the Storm and Water Advisory Board? No. But that's Nancy Carter. That's what I thought. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We will now go in the official order of the program. I do believe it begins with you, Shimmer. Awesome. And then we'll go through, have remarks, and we'll go from there. And I believe that the director of Louisa, Ebenezer Gujala Pudi, will close us out. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Justice, I'm a little taller than you. Good morning, everyone. It is amazing to be here. I know people get nervous whenever elected officials get in front of a microphone, so I'm going to try to stick to the script, but I will tell you that this is very special. This is a very special day for our board. To the family, we are so honored to be able to have this dedication. I can tell you, and of course I'm off script already, but I can tell you in 2018, when there were 4 new people that were elected to this board, I remember the first environmental stewardship meeting where Rusty presented, and I remember all of us walking out of there just being completely blown away. Elaine had warned us about him, but to see him in action and to hear him and to understand his passion and his dedication, it was phenomenal. He has made a lasting impact on all of us personally, obviously, a lasting impact on this organization, this community, and this region. And today it is just a really, really special honor for us as a board. I am Mark Jarrell, and I do have the honor of serving as chairman of the Board of County Commissioners here. And certainly my colleagues have been acknowledged and recognized, but I certainly feel the need to do that again. They are amazing public servants, and so I do want to make sure that they are acknowledged again. I'm going to ask them all to stand, and this time you can clap because it was a little awkward, but so please stand, colleagues, because I do want you to be recognized. And so today, on behalf of all of the board and even our colleagues that aren't here, I want to extend a heartfelt gratitude to the entire Rozzelle family for sharing Rusty with our entire community. And with today's dedication, we're celebrating and honoring the life and legacy of a public servant, and a really dedicated public servant. And I often say, we are all, every one of us in this building, are public servants. Some of us are elected, and some of us choose to serve in the capacities that you do each and every day. And Rusty was certainly a dedicated public service servant. He was an individual who answered the call to service with a high degree of passion and care. Many of you are familiar with the quote by Shirley Chisholm, where she said that service is the rent we pay for the privilege of living on this earth. And I think we can all agree that in Rusty's case, he certainly kept up with all of his payments. In an organization of more than 6,500 team members, it's not often that our board is able to recognize team members by name. But however, Rusty is certainly one of those exceptions. And the unanimous decision by the Board of County Commissioners to rename this building in Rusty's honor is certainly a testament to how revered and loved Rusty was and continues to be in not only this organization, but this community. Our environment and community are both a little bit healthier, more connected, and interdependent because of Rusty. And it's often said that a community can only grow when old men and women plant trees of which they know they will never have an opportunity to sit under. And today we celebrate the seeds of change and progress that Rusty planted during his more than 40 years of service. Today is another reminder that public service is not about titles or positions. It's simply about service, it's about people, and it's truly about impact. And so as we rename this building, we are enshrining the principles associated with Rusty's legacy anchored in community, preservation, conservation, and pride. And we really pray that Rusty's story and glory serve as a source of inspiration for generations to come. So thank you all for your presence here this morning, and most importantly, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve. And at this time, I am going to ask you, and you guys may not have known this, but Rusty Rozzelle has a fan club. And, and the president of that fan club is none other than District 1 Commissioner Elaine Powell. So I would like to recognize Commissioner Powell.
That is so funny, because I used to sign every email that I sent to Rusty, president of your fan club. So it's not about titles. I never knew what Rusty's title was until after he had passed, because it didn't matter. In my mind, he was like the most smart, caring, water quality professional that I have ever known. The title didn't matter. It is such an honor to stand here to honor him. I always thought that Rusty should have had a cape with little water droplets on the back. He was a hero to me. I first met him more than 30 years ago when I worked at Presbyterian Hospital. And I told his family this, there are so many good things that I want to share, and no matter how long I take, I will never be able to do it. Have you ever heard, I think you probably all have heard this song, Humble and Kind? And I have to give credit to Tim McGraw. Every time I hear that song, I think of him like it was written about him, because he was so humble and kind. Have you ever been in a contentious meeting where you wondered if you would ever achieve any kind of give and take? Like, is there any hope here? Every time I'm in a meeting like that, I think of Rusty. He was so committed to finding middle ground, because he was with a lot of people that didn't really care about the environment. I used to marvel, like, I've been in meetings with him for more than 30 years, just as a citizen, before I was elected. And I used to marvel at the way that he could communicate with the real estate and building industry coalition, who thought they knew everything. And I felt like he must have been doing gymnastics in his brain, you know, like trying to figure out a way to communicate, to come to that, to get to middle ground. That is so important. You can't make progress without that. I think of him all the time. Last March, Rusty asked me to speak at a conference. Imagine this. Rusty Rozzelle asked me to speak at a conference. No one at the conference made me nervous. There were more than 200 leaders there. No one made me nervous except him. I felt really nervous because I didn't want to disappoint him. I didn't want to let him down. I wanted to make sure that I was doing a really good job of getting the message to all those elected leaders that were making decisions about water. And I thought to myself, how could I ever compare? How can I compare to the magic that he delivered in his storytelling? How could I compare to the depth of knowledge that he demonstrated in his presentations? And he just said in his sweet voice, Commissioner Powell, it's just about making sure people know what's important. Rusty was one of the best people and the most committed professionals I have ever known, and I've known many. You know, people talk about the treasure trees that we have in Mecklenburg County, like, oh, that's a treasure tree, that beautiful, magnificent oak. Rusty is a treasure human for Mecklenburg County, for the state of North Carolina. Every time I'm talking to DEQ, we talk about Rusty. He's just a treasure to everyone that knew him. For 45 years, he woke up every day to problem solve. I was even talking to his lifetime partner, who was talking about what a great problem solver he is. To problem solve, to mentor others, to build teams, to educate, and to face the never-ending challenge of environmental stewardship in Mecklenburg County. He did everything he could to make a positive difference. And when you think about what life means, can you imagine anything more important than using your skills to make a positive difference? I never missed a chance, especially as president of his fan club. I never missed a chance to thank him and to recognize him in public, and I am so glad for that. I felt a little teary-eyed every time I shared my gratitude. Every single time that I would do that, he would say, "I appreciate that, Commissioner Powell." And then he would remind me of all his outstanding coworkers and that he couldn't do it without them. He loved you. I believe that he would want all of that love to be carried on. So let Rusty's name on this building be a reminder to all of us how important it is to be humble and kind, gracious and courageous, determined and caring for all of the people who rely on us to protect our environment so that we all make a positive difference for each other. And forever, in his honor, may we never forget to push for bigger buffers. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words. And being head of the fan club, that's a big job. Good morning. I'm Rick Rozzelle. I'm Rusty's older brother. He was my young brother, kid brother. I'd like to say a few words on behalf of our family that are here and those who weren't able to be here, and a very few words that I think Rusty would say to you if he were here. On behalf of Rusty's family, I want to thank you. I want to say a very hearty thank you to his coworkers, county managers, and leaders, to the county commissioners. You've all been so wonderfully kind and thoughtful throughout the past 14 months since Rusty's passing. It demonstrates just how much you were actually a part of his family, too. The tribute of naming the building after Rusty, and thankfully not the Rusty building, means a great deal to all of us. It memorializes the work for water quality and environmental stewardship to which Rusty was so committed. Rusty was known for his lectures or storytelling about the history of the Catawba River, the Rozzelle Ferry, while stressing the importance of protecting the waterways for future generations. He made these lectures interesting, used them to spread his passion for the river, water quality, and the environment. He talked about writing a book, and he was going to call it Fairy Tales, F-E-R-R-Y, Fairy Tales. He told the tales, but he never wrote the book, at least not in printed form. He did manage to imprint the essence of the book and his passion for water quality on the hearts and minds of those with whom he worked. So much so that we're here to name a building after him. I guess he didn't have to write the book after all. His name on the building will prompt those who knew him to tell the story on his behalf. What would Rusty say about all of this if he were here? See all you people and the name on his building. I can't say for certain, but I think he would say, in that southern country drawl that he perfected, I don't know where that came from, but he was good at it. I think he would say, really, how sad that you people couldn't think of a better name for this fine building. He would add he didn't deserve this, that he was just doing his job with the passion that his whole team shared. I think he would also say that his team and coworkers are the ones that deserve the credit and the recognition. And I know that he would tell us that he is thankful to the good Lord for giving him the talent and the opportunity to serve the community in such a way with such fine people. On his birthday, Rusty often made the sojourn to the headwaters of the Catawba to renew his spirit. Several members of our family visited the headwaters on his birthday last September for a brief memorial. I'm sure Rusty's memory will be with me as long as I live. However, that may not be the case for the next generations. It is my hope that our family will continue to make those trips to the headwaters of the Catawba to renew our connection to Rusty's spirit. And it's my wish that this building named in his memory will help all of those who knew Rusty to sustain their passion for keeping our environment safe for generations to come. Thank you all for this honor for Rusty. Thank you for being here. I'm going to turn it over now to your county manager, Mike Bryant.
Morning. As it's been stated, I'm Mike Bryant, Mecklenburg County Manager. One of the very first things I did when the board appointed me to this position was I wrote out a new initiative that I branded as Culture of Caring. This is what Culture of Caring represents. Because at Mecklenburg County, we're family. And today, this morning, we're celebrating and honoring one of our family members. It's important to me that the family, especially the kids, the children, I want you to see the support that is present here for your loved ones. So I'm going to ask that the family, Mecklenburg County, please raise your hands. I want the family to turn around and look at the support that is here. I want you to capture this moment. It's so important to me. Thank you, Mecklenburg County. Rusty gave 45 years of service to Mecklenburg County. He started in 1980. You recall what you were doing in 1980? Rusty was participating in employee orientation. 45 years. So I'm going to selfishly ask that you give that a round of applause. 45 years of his life. You know, in the state of North Carolina, you can retire after 30 years. You get full retirement. This man went 45 years. So as the old saying goes, if you love what you do, you never work what? A day in your life. And then also, I'm so happy that members of the board are here, but I want to shout out the president of the fan club. Because some of you may know, our commissioner, she recently had a procedure. And I know she would not miss this for the world. So I want to recognize you for having the energy, following your procedure to make sure that you're here for this special moment. So let's give Commissioner Powell a round of applause as well. As we heard from our speakers, without a doubt today, it is a very special day indeed because it is not often that we get to honor our non-elected team member in this fashion. To Rick, the rest of the Rozzelle family, along with Rusty's friends and former colleagues, thank you all for being here. And most importantly, I would like to personally thank you for always showing up the way that you do to honor our good friend. Today would not be possible with your ever-enduring support. I would also like to take this time to thank Deputy County Manager Dr. Leslie Johnson, Director Ebenezer, who you'll be hearing from, and the rest of the county team for their support for Rusty and today's ceremony. As someone that has spent the bulk of my career, my professional career in public service, I have found that individuals like Rusty do not come easily. When I joined the county back in 2003, Rusty already had 22 years of service within our organization under his belt. Rusty's steadfast commitment to our environment not only mirrored our organization's dedication to this community, but it also represented a fierce sense of urgency that informed his work and everything he was a part of. A serial collaborator, Rusty not only built bridges of binding consensus, he repaired them as well through countless engagement and research. He led through sacrifice and purpose. To know Rusty was to know the importance of service, courage, commitment, and unlimited service. The sentiment that has been shared here today represents the prints that Rusty left on the hearts of so many in our community. Mecklenburg County is certainly better because of Rusty's many contributions, contributions that will continue to be felt in this community long after our season of service has come to an end. Rusty certainly left this world better than he found it. And by changing the name of this structure from the Soto Avenue facility to the Russell S. Rozzelle building, we are ensuring that future generations will remember a life devoted to environmental stewardship and public good. You know, I recall the day when I learned about Rusty's transition. Dr. Johnson called me into her office and shared with me that news. But it was bittersweet. Bittersweet, because a man of deep faith, my faith tells me Rusty's in a much better place. Rusty's fine. He's in the land of milk and honey. But it's also bittersweet, as I shared with Dr. Johnson. So when I was appointed as new manager, one of my goals is to celebrate all of our employees, all 6,400, different ways. And one of the ways I was going to do that is through a podcast. And my first employee, that podcast, was going to be Rusty. Why Rusty? For the reasons that you've heard, what he represents. He epitomizes truly what it means to be a model employee. So it's really bittersweet to me. However, my God works in mysterious ways, because tomorrow is my very first podcast. And guess who I'll be recognizing? He may not be with me physically, but he'll be with me spiritually. And I get one more opportunity to celebrate and acknowledge all the greatness associated with our dear friend, Rusty. So may the soul of Rusty Rozzelle rest in eternal peace. And thank you all again for your presence this morning. God bless.
Thank you, County Manager, for your kind remarks. Before I make the final remarks, we have a small video to show you that our Public Information Office has put together in honor of Rusty. So please direct your attention to the monitor right to my left.
Rusty Rozzelle was the program manager for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Stormwater Services Program, Water Quality Program. He worked here for 45 years, and over 40 of those years he was leading the water quality program.
Rusty was the first person who hired me almost 21 years ago. We have been very close friends throughout my career.
My ancestors moved here in the 1700s, and they started by operating a ferry on the Catawba River. It's called Rozzelle's Ferry, and there's a road named for it today. I grew up here, my family's been here for years. I played in the Catawba River, played in all these creeks, so they're kind of near and dear to my heart. I have a lot of passion for them.
His family's history was so intimately intertwined with the Catawba River. And so I think Rusty grew up with sort of this legacy of a family that was very committed to, protecting this water resource.
He had just a real love for the environment, and always had. And he has always been a staunch environmentalist and protector of the water.
I think that he felt like it was his calling to do things that were proactively protecting our water resources. That was his purpose, absolutely his purpose.
I do this job because I love our surface water resources. I think they're our most precious natural resource, and I think there's something to be cherished and protected, and that's why I do it.
His impact in Mecklenburg County, I can only say, is just priceless. He left an indelible impression on Mecklenburg County, from staff all the way up to county commissioners.
He has been an industry leader in, really ensuring that the way that Mecklenburg County has approached water resource management has been very thoughtful, very progressive. Our program has been viewed across the country as one of the best programs. The man he lived and breathed this work and cared tremendously for the work that we do.
He had a certain charisma to him from a standpoint of being able to bring different groups of people together.
People respected him in the office, people respected him in our community, people respected him in this field. He did that through being authentic and being true to who he was. There's not many people that are like that approach life that way.
And most people may not know that, he, as much as he loved the environment, he loved his staff even more.
I've worked with a lot of really, really great people, and I look back on my career, that's the greatest shining star is the people I've had an opportunity to work with.
We are not just coworkers. We are family. We're friends. We've been there for each other for life events. And, and Rusty, honestly, we were like his kids. We were his family. He planted in each of us this idea that you can work, but you can also work with passion and with a service mind. He would host events at his house where he would spend days cooking food for us. And we'd all go out with our families and just commune and, just to show that he cared for us.
Yeah, you can't replace the person. We can fill the role, but we can't replace the person.
When I look ahead and think about what lays ahead, I really think what's left to do when I'm gone is even more important than anything I was ever involved in. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people.
Thank you to the Stormwater team for pulling that video together. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude today's dedication ceremony, a couple of things right after I conclude my remarks. The county manager and the chair of the county commission, along with the rest of the county commissioners, will go outside along with the family. We have a plaque that needs to be unveiled on the wall outside, so we will do that. And then after that, we'll come back in for a time of fellowship around the food. So we have provided some snacks and refreshments. I would like to extend my deepest appreciation to everyone who joined us here to commemorate and celebrate the enduring legacy of Rusty Rozzelle. Mike asked if you remember what we were doing in 1980. Mike, I was 7 years old. So I remember a little bit. And by providence, we could not have custom-ordered better weather today. Rusty is reminding us of why water is kind of around everything he does. And so here, I think by providence, the rain has held off until we can unveil the plaque. Your presence today affirms the profound impact Rusty had on the county, and not only us, but the city and all those who worked alongside him. I want to express my gratitude to County Commission Chair Mark Jarrell, Commissioner Powell, Commissioner Altman, Commissioner Susan Rodriguez McDowell, and Commissioner Meyer, as well as County Manager Bryant and Deputy County Manager Dr. Leslie Johnson for the leadership support and participation today. Your presence here shows how much you value Rusty and his service to the community. When Rusty passed away, as we received the news, and I was speaking to, I think at the then County Manager Dina Diorio was the one that initially said, maybe we need to rename the building after him. And then as she shared it with Mike, Mike said, absolutely, let's make it happen. And so with the full support of the board, that happened in October of last year. To Rick Rozzelle and the entire Rozzelle family, thank you for joining us and allowing us to honor Rusty in this way. I had the privilege of being the director of Louisa for the last 13 and a half years and had the privilege of working with Rusty. Over the span of almost 12 and a half years, there's only 2 times Rusty, I saw him mad as a hornet. When he comes into my office, he plops down and says, I need to talk. It was at the time of performance reviews. He would not understand why he could not rate everybody of his staff as walking on water. I reminded him, Rusty, if they walked on water, we did not have to have boats. So he was, we had a couple of really good long conversations while we had plenty of other ones as well. And this renaming serves as a lasting testament to his contributions. And Rick hit the nail on the head when he said there was a reason why we did not put Rusty anywhere on the building naming, because we did not want it to be called the Rusty Building. We're going to call it the RSR building, just to make sure it's not misunderstood. I would also like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all those who helped today's event possible. Again, this is not, a one-person effort. Jean Quinn kind of took the lead along with her team, Kathleen and Kimberly, to make all the practical arrangements. Our Public Information Office with Betsy Abraham taking the lead there, along with Suzette and her team. We are grateful for helping us share Rusty's story with the broader community. Again, to the entire Louisa team, especially those that work closely with Rusty, thank you for keeping his memory alive with the excellent work that you continue to do, not only in his honor, but to serve our community at large. To all the colleagues, partners, I see here folks from the city that have worked with him, some that have retired and come back, and even Maya decided to show up for the event. And that shows you how much of a legacy that Rusty had. I don't see Dave anywhere. Is Dave Cannon here? He was supposed to be here. Oh, there he's back there. Dave is now again serving as the chair of the SWAC as well. And so your presence here is a reflection of the broad reach of Rusty's influence and the respect he earned throughout his career. So once again, thank you all for being here. And now at this time, I would like to formally invite County Commission Chair Mark Jarrell and County Manager Michael Bryant to join Rick Rozzelle and another member of his family, as well as Commissioner Powell and the other commissioners to come, as we will go outside to unveil the plaque honoring Rusty. Following the unveiling, we welcome all the guests to stay and join us for refreshments. Again, thank you again for being part of this significant and memorable day, and we hope you have a rest of the blessed day. Thank you.